My name is Lloyd Graves,
I'm Wendy Graves.
and we own Signarama Louisville East in Louisville, Kentucky. When we were looking around to purchase a franchise, we looked at several, and Signarama stood out because of their cap, one, two, the support, and then lastly, I went to a discovery day. I hadn't yet made my decision to go with Signarama until I went to the discovery day, and I met Ray, I believe it was, and then just the general atmosphere at UFG headquarters. The people is what sealed the deal for me. It felt like a family atmosphere. It didn't feel forced or coerced, and the people were super nice. So I think I called Wendy right before I got on the plane and said I think I made a decision to go with Signarama. I'd been in the sign industry for 10 years before we purchased Signarama, and there's nobody you can call and ask, what do you do about this or what do you do about that? In the Signarama family of franchises, you can pretty much call anybody or jump on Facebook, and you're not just on an island as an owner by yourself.
And I agree. I definitely think it's the network. Everyone here wants you to be successful from the corporate level down to individual stores, and they're not afraid to give you their advice and encourage you and even give you some tough love if needed, if they feel like you're making the wrong decision for your location. And I feel like they just invest. So I agree that it's a family, and like with any family, you can fuss and fight with each other, but at the end of the day, you want each other to be successful as people and business owners, and that's really supportive. I think our franchise network in general is very community focused, and they encourage us. And a few years back, we launched Signs We Care, and it's just what we use locally to give back to small business owners, your local schools. And we've been fortunate to be able to tap into new businesses that have started to where we were able to donate their signage to them for free. And that can be pretty hefty expense for them up front. And so they're very appreciative. And it's just really exciting to see that business grow and know that our signage was a part of that experience for them. So for us, community is really important, and being involved in some of our local schools as well.
Community involvement, especially at the chamber levels and the business association levels, is very important. Even though at first you may not think you're getting anything out of it, it's you are creating capital, because what you're doing is getting your name out there and getting people to know the Signarama brand and know you as a person. So then when they have a sign need, they say, oh, well, go to Lloyd or go to Signarama Louisville East. So I would tell any new franchisee or anyone that hasn't tapped into that in their community, you've got to be community oriented. You can't, it's the same as utilizing the Signarama network. You can't be on an island and be a business owner. You've got to get out in the community, because the community is what sustains you and helps your business grow.
So I founded the Women in Signs, Etc. private Facebook group back a year ago in January of 2021. And then a few months later, did a podcast launch underneath the same name. And it really spawned from the fact that I don't have a sign background. My husband was the one with the sign background, and I just joined as a supportive team member and a trusted partner in our business. And then with his expertise, I was really able to absorb all of that knowledge. And as I was just working with people across the country with different projects, I just noticed how many women were in this business that I never knew of or have ever met. And so I searched, and I was surprised. There wasn't really anything ongoing for women in the sign industry. So there we go. It started, and it's just been organically growing for the last year, invite by invite, people who knows people, and it's open to anyone in a franchise who runs an independent sign company, vendors, anyone who holds information or knowledge or daily work within the sign industry can be in the group. And I just hope that one day it will just continue to be a strong platform for us to understand that we view things differently, we manage differently, we're leaders differently, and that's okay. And our male counterparts support us and encourage us to be able to utilize those skills that God has blessed us with, and encourage them, and also to introduce it to the younger demographics, because a lot of women and men don't know that this is a great career that they can get into and that they can provide for their family. And so I hope that that's a platform for years to come that introduces that to the next generation.
We've been attending the SARCons, or back when they had the regionals, or super regionals, I guess, when we first bought. And I think it's important for the camaraderie. As a business owner, even though you may be involved in community things and different peer groups and stuff like that, it can still feel like you're on an island, and being a business owner, especially the last few years, is almost like being in a fight, right? So we come to this to get refreshed, to see friends we haven't seen in a while, probably just via Zoom. But it gives us a boost to go back home with a few tidbits to take back to our team to get them pumped up for the next quarter or the rest of the year. And you get to see whatever new innovative products are coming out.
And I think it's really important to have newer stores attend pretty frequently and as soon as they buy, if they're able to get away, just because you can build that network of people that you can lean in, whether it's in your immediate market area or outside of that, a lot quicker, because you're just not going to have the time day to day to reach out and find out who's in your area.
And we talked to quite a few new stores that before this, and they said, well, I can't afford to go. I can't leave my store, and I don't have the time. Well, you really can't afford not to come to things like this. You bought into a brand, so you might as well use it. And like Wendy said, you can't try to go on Facebook or look through names and figure out who you have a connection with. The only way you can do that is person to person. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is at shows like this, where you can actually see the strength of the brand you bought into. And then it gives you that extra oomph to go back, and then you got people in your Rolodex now that you can call on. So I would say for a new owner and owners that haven't been in a while, you can't afford not to come to shows like this.